Hey, welcome to the Backwoods Gourmet. Today we're going to compare 3 different kinds of charcoal chimney starters. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, so the first one we have here is the Campmaid Collapsible Charcoal Chimney Starter. It completely folds up. I did notice I've used this once and it was a real stiff to get back open again. We might want to put a little bit of oil on those hinges before we store it up for any amount of time. Okay. Next one we have, this is the, probably you've seen this one at your Lowe's Home Depot. This is your like generic charcoal chimney starter. I've used this one about twice and you can see the condition that is in already. Okay, I've had that for a month and I've used it twice and it's already rusting. The ones that are painted black are even worse about that. Okay, this is only about $4 cheaper than the next one I'm going to show you, and that's the good old Weber chimney starter. It's got the handle way out, it's got the big bell. This one is almost 3 years old now. Okay, it is just now starting to show a little bit of rust around the holes here. So we're going to set all 3 of these up the same way and see how they like charcoal. So here's a little trick I do. I have a little squirt bottle with some vegetable oil, and I always give that, you know, 6 or 7 drops right down on my brown paper. Now I use my bags. Use your charcoal bags. Just separate the layers of the paper. There's usually 3 layers of paper in your charcoal bag. Separate the layers and crumple those layers up individually and stuff them under your chimney starter, and that's a good way to use your bags. For those of you who hadn't seen that little trick before, I hope you learned something there. The few drops of oil that we put in that paper, give them a little minute to soak in there, and what will happen is that paper will get hot enough to actually ignite that oil, and that oil will burn in there like a candle and keep your flame going up underneath the charcoal a lot longer and help you get lit faster. Also, it's all natural, so you don't have to worry about it. Please, please, guys, do not use lighter fluid on anything that you're going to cook. Save the lighter fluid for your bonfire. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 in each chimney starter. All right, real quick, let's look over some of the difference in design of the 3 different chimney starters. Now, I really want to get the mini version of this one because we do Dutch oven a lot, and that's 25 coals. That's for setting up your Dutch oven, or, you know, a few more for your Sportsman's Grill, but that's not even, that's only like a third of the way full. Okay, so we'll talk about the capacity here first. This holds a lot. Okay, this is made for firing your Weber kettle grill. They do make a mini version of that. You can check that out right on our Amazon store. I'll leave you a link to that in the description box. Now, this is the Campmaid Collapsible charcoal chimney starter, and they don't really make grills, so they make Dutch ovens. And so theirs is more set for that size of a capacity. So if you put that thing, you know, just below the top there, that's probably going to be just about the right amount. And then again, here's the cheapo cowboy brand one. This one was called, and it's about halfway up in that. All right, now let's look at some of the other features that make a little bit of difference in these. First of all, I want to look at the handles. Okay, this is very flimsily secured there with just one rivet on the top. It's got a wooden handle here that if you leave it out in the weather like I did, it starts getting pretty crappy looking real quick. And I guess, I don't know if that's going all the way through there or not. Probably doesn't. And it does, but it does have a little heat shield here to kind of protect your hands from the heat. Now, the handle on the Campmaid Collapsible Charcoal Chimney Starter is plastic / silicone. Not sure exactly what material it is, but it has a detent over here, so when you fold it up, it can swing back. And it does have quite a, it's put together quite well. There's multiple rivets holding the handle, multiple rivets holding the part that holds the handle to the actual box itself. and the gauge of the metal is quite thick. It's pretty sturdy. The only problem is that handle is really close here, and we'll get into that a little bit later. All right, now thirdly, the good old Weber charcoal chimney starter. You know, it's got a really heavy duty rivets there at the top and the bottom. The handle is a long ways away from, it's quite a distance here from the actual charcoal, and they give you this lifting bale, which I've never used, but I guess it would come in handy if you liked it. A plastic handle. It does, you know, get a little grungy looking after a while. Like I said, this one's going on 3 years old. Okay, going on 3 years old, and it has a huge deflector plate here for the heat. So even up picking this thing up roaring hot, that really works good. All right, now lastly I want to go over is the air intakes and how these are set up as far as airflow goes. The Weber has like fins all the way around the bottom, and it has a series of 3 holes all the way around the sides to help your airflow more like a, sets up almost like a rocket stove. That's I guess what they were looking for here. Similarly, the Campmaid Collapsible has large holes at the bottom and some holes very near the top on 3 sides. They don't have them on the back side. There's no holes on the back side. The Weber, they go all the way around. Okay, then over to the little cowboy one, I call it the generic one. It's got just punched holes all the way around the bottom. I guess they skipped one where the handle sets. All right, so that's the differences in design. So we're getting ready to fire these up, and we're going to see how well they work. All right, guys, so I got my stopwatch app open on my phone, and as soon as we get all 3 of them lit, we'll start that up. I'm going to use today, so do it faster than fiddling with the aiming flame. I can get, you know, pretty accurate. I will do it with the little torch. All right, so here we go. Same blast, all 3. All right. Here we go. Time starts now. All right, it's just been almost like 30 seconds, and that oil is already ignited in the paper over here on the Weber. It has not yet in the Campmaid. It's smoking pretty good, and so is the generic cowboy one there. So we're doing pretty good over here, and the clock is ticking. We are 5 minutes in right now. The Weber chimney starter is doing quite well. The other 2 are doing okay, and they're getting going right now. So 5 minutes in, and what we're going to call time is when all the coals are ashed over, which may give the Weber chimney starter a little disadvantage because it's larger, so there's only really like 1 layer of charcoal in there. But we'll see how it goes. 14 minutes. I'm calling it for the Weber. Okay. Fastest, it's going to be the Weber. These guys are not far behind. So we're showing time 18 minutes. Cowboy, El Cheapo, Generic, fully ready. Campmaid, I'm calling him fully ready. So time-wise, those two, I'm gonna call that a draw. But these have been ready for a while now. All right, now that all three are ready, the next test we're gonna do is how easy these things are to handle when they're hot. Okay, all three of them. So we'll start out with the Weber kettle. That handle is pretty damn hot, but it's been right next to this one also. Okay, but I can still go ahead and pour those out without any kind of glove or anything. Okay. All right. Trying to do this one-handed is pretty tricky. I can hold a camera for you guys. All right, we're coming over to that's the Campmaid. You know, and that shield is not completely shielding that firebox where all that heat is, and you know, I dare you to pick that up. I dare you to pick that up without a mitt. Okay, now let's go to the little Generic. It's got a wooden handle, so it's definitely the coolest of all three. I mean, that's not hot at all. All right, I can handle that all day long, no problem. Because obviously the wood doesn't conduct any kind of heat. All right, but to pour out this guy, you're gonna need yourself a hot pad. All right, let's get a hot pad on there. Let's pour that out. It pours out just fine, but let me tell you, better have you something to grab it with. So there you are. Comparison of three popular charcoal chimney starters. So the purpose of this video was to show you three different kinds of chimney starters. Not to say that one is better than the other, but let's recap. So after you've seen how these operate, how they work, how easy they are to handle, let me tell you, I haven't had the Campmaid long enough to know how long that's going to last. I've had dozens and dozens of those cheapo depot ones over the years. Not worth the $4. That thing's $9.99. Okay, the Weber is $14.99 at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, wherever they carry them. Okay, that $4 to me is worth it. I've had that chimney starter, the Weber, for over 3 years, and if you watch this show and you follow us, you know we're putting up 2-3 videos a week, and we use that thing in almost every single video that we do. Okay, so it gets used at least 2 or 3 times a week on top of what are my normal cooking when we're not out here making videos, which is practically every night. So if you're looking at those and you see, you know, you're looking at them in Lowe's, Home Depot, and you go, hey, well, this one's like $4 cheaper, let's buy it. I wouldn't recommend that. Go ahead and get you the Weber. That thing will last you for a long time. For a person who, you know, grills occasionally, you could have that thing for 10 years. Just try to keep it indoors. The Campmaid charcoal chimney starter, I like the collapsibility of it, that I can fold that thing up and put it in a bag, take it with me day tripping. So, you know, the fact that it's a little hard to handle when it's hot is, you know, it's an issue if you want to try to use it every day, but it's not an issue because it takes up so much less space when you're, you know, when you're traveling. So if you're one of those guys that loves to grill but still stuck with that charcoal lighter fluid, you know, you get ready to grill and, oh crap, I don't got any fluid. You know, all that stuff is basically mineral spirits, and you're pouring that right on the fuel you're going to use to cook your food on. That's my biggest deal. Okay, I used to do it myself, so guilty, but I changed my ways and started using a charcoal chimney starter about 5 or 6 years ago, and I would never go back to any kind of fluid. And so no matter what kind of chimney starter you use a chimney starter and paper to start your charcoal. It's much safer, it's much healthier, and it works just as fast as that old lighter fluid. Hey, thanks for watching the Backwoods Gourmet. If you like what we're doing, please hit that like button right down there. Check out our Amazon store link in the very first comment and the links in the description box. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, you can do it right there. See another great Backwoods Gourmet video. It's going to be right up there. And for a whole playlist of cooking on a Lodge Sportsman's Grill, it's going to be right up there. We'll see you next time. You know what the problem is? Got all this charcoal burning. I got nothing to put on it.